Well, this should be fun. I'm off to Banff for the weekend for the Banff Film Festival, and which my girlfriend's presenting at, so I'm really looking forward to that. I've left Geordie aboard, and he'll be looked after by some of my good friends here at the marina, and I'm going to take the Harbour Air flight right out of downtown Victoria to downtown Vancouver, and then from there I take the bus to Banff, because last minute flights are crazy expensive, and I have a deal on the Harbour Air, so that's kind of neat. I've never done it before. This will be my first trip on a float plane, so I'll probably be shooting a few clips about that. The beautiful part about this is you fly from directly downtown, and as a result I get to do my favorite walk just to go to the plane. Sure beats driving up a highway to an international airport. Actually, it is an international airport. Harbour Air is the largest seaplane airline in the world. Gorgeous morning. It's -10 in Banff this morning, so I may not have brought appropriate clothing, mainly because I don't own appropriate clothing for that kind of weather. Anyway, stay tuned. This should be a fun trip. Cheers. Well, I'd have to say that was pretty neat, flying in the cockpit of my first seaplane flight to downtown Vancouver. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Downtown Vancouver with almost 6 hours to kill before my bus to Banff. I don't really know Vancouver. I've driven through it several times and never really found it very urban, but I think I must have missed the bulk of it because this is urban. Anyway, I'm going up that staircase and check it out. Cheers. Oh yeah, okay, Gastown street meat. Oh, looks good. Growing up in Montreal, unless I've missed the bulk of it, Gastown, I understand, is Vancouver's oldest district. It's just not old enough. Anyway, it's cool. Cheers. Last time I was in Gastown, you may recall, it was last January. I was driving through and it was late at night. I decided to just hang around downtown all night. And right at the corner here, around 3 o'clock in the morning, there was something more than a slight altercation. Someone got hauled out of their car right in front of me. Yeah, Vancouver after hours. Now that's a train station. I just loved an era when they knew how to build buildings. I know not everyone shares that opinion, but God, classics are just classics. Alright, so the bus station's here too somewhere. Alright, picked up my ticket. It's 1:30. I board at 5:30. I'll go find something to do. It's just starting to drizzle, which doesn't really bother me much, but I don't want to get caught in a downpour. Anyway, the end of Falls Creek is right up here. I'm going to go check that out. This is the very head of Falls Creek, which is of great interest to me because you can stay in your boat in Falls Creek for up to 2 weeks on the anchor for free. And from what I understand, Falls Creek is relatively boat friendly. In other words, there's dinghy wharfs and such, so you can come ashore and enjoy the city. Now, I'm going to walk around while I kill these next few hours and cross a bridge further up towards Granville Island, and we'll see if that's actually the case. I'll be able to walk right around Falls Creek and see what there is in the way of dinghy wharfs or other infrastructure for coming ashore. It would be a pretty neat place. I can see a couple of boats moored in there as it is. That's it. Okay, so this is fantastic. I've only just walked a couple hundred yards. A couple of private vessels moored in Falls Creek here. I've just left basically Canada Place, or what used to be Canada Place down there, and I'm at my first public dinghy dock. And I've just read the sign. You can leave your boat here for up to 24 hours, or the notice says actually may be removed if you're here for more than 24 hours. And obviously there's a risk that someone's going to come along and take your dinghy. The few that are here now are just on the slightly ratty side, but that's okay. Actually, I think that one's been here more than 24 hours. This one's quite tidy. So anyway, it's fantastic. You can moor up for free in False Creek and then come to a dinghy dock and go straight up into the city. City of Victoria, take note. It's called Habitat Island. A little man-made, completely natural island right in the middle of False Creek, in the middle of downtown Vancouver. Neat idea. Let's go for a walk. Pretty neat. I'd have to say mostly inhabited by small groups of people smoking pot, but still a completely wilderness island in the middle of downtown Vancouver. Well, you can walk across this bridge, go up that massive staircase, but I think I'll go further up down the creek. Second dinghy wharf. Loving it. Spyglass dock. I think of myself as a bit of an urban critic. I like cities. I grew up in Montreal. I really like cities. I think I always had it in for Vancouver, and I don't know why, really. But so far, it's pretty cool. I'm liking it. Misty, kind of drizzly day, but I'm okay with that. Granville Island, cool. Really, really cool. I like it. But to keep moving, I gotta get across that bridge. And I don't actually see a way to get on it. Well, let's keep moving. Bye. Well, I figured it out. Just have to walk south a little bit through this pretty little park, and I'm up on the Granville Street Bridge. Wait a second. Granville Island has a concrete plant on it? Aggregates? Industry. Wonderful. I kind of like the mix and match. Well, the overnight bus was great. Got into Banff around 8:20 in the morning. Girlfriend came to pick me up, who's working here for the Banff Film Festival. This is a groovy truck. You might recognize it from a previous installment. Anyway, so we whisked off to a great morning coffee and then a couple of book talks for the festival. And this evening we're heading off for some of the films. Really looking forward to it. Just got to go get a bite to eat, and I think it's going to be souvlaki in Banff. Of course, Banff has a lot of awesome places to eat, but one of my favorite is Barpa Bill's. Yeah, it's souvlaki. It's great food. It's not exactly mountain food, but it's really, really good souvlaki. And being an ex-Montrealer, I know really good souvlaki. Well, I've had an amazing week here in Banff at the Banff Festival for the Banff Mountain Film Festival. It's minus a million here this morning, and we're just heading off. Fortunately, it's sunny. I was going to fly home today, and my girlfriend was going to drive back to the coast in a week or so, but the weather's going to turn and be really, really nasty, so we're both driving back across the Rockies today, the last decent day before basically winter sets in and the permanent ice pack on the roads in the Rockies, the Trans-Canada, sets in. And if you remember, I've seen what that can be like, so I'm glad I'm not doing that. Anyway, this is the last installment from Banff, from Film Festival 2015. And we're heading back across the Rockies to warmer climates. Cheers. Okay, so you'll have to forgive the pretty significant lack of meaningful footage from Banff or most of the trip back. But here's a lovely sunset arriving back on the coast.